having all kinds of tech issues tonight, mostly with Twitch. I can't edit. Like, I've tried all night, or all night. That's what I've been trying to just do some quick highlights to cut out the chunks of time last night while I was like away from work, trying to take care of my kiddo, get her back to sleep, and it's not letting me, like, it would not save the highlights, and then I tried to just upload the whole thing, it's not exporting, so I don't know what's going on with Twitch right now. I might have to reach out to them, I guess. I'm kind of dreading that prospect. The streams just disappeared. That's a fun stream. Anyway, we're gonna be raising babies, so we got some eggs. We got some eggs to evaluate. Start work. I'm not really sure how I'm going to do stuff like that. I think we're just going to go back and raise alpha a bit more. And then, like, so I'm not really talked much about how the farm works. The farm isn't just a storage area, it's also growing your monsters for you. So when you're leveling up your monsters in key worlds, your monsters here are leveling up too, kind of like the daycare in Pokemon. It's working the same way, only it's automatic and free. It's a core part of the game. So that can have some detrimental effects. First off, you can see that Alpha here, he gained 8 levels. When we left off last year's level 4, we're picking him back up now at level 12, so he's gained 8 levels. He's also gained some wildness, which isn't that big a deal. 2 wildness is not bad, but his personality is shifted back. He's now spoiled, and that can be pretty disastrous. And he's also not learning any skills. I don't remember if they learn skills naturally at the farm, or you have to raise them up in the field. So we're going to go to Pirate, because he's already at level 12. I need to, like, put something on my, like, just description somewhere that says I'm too fucking broke for the service that I cannot afford you. So, oh yeah, that's right. Oh, and I need to make a correction. I was mistaken last night. So I was looking at Wind Beast, and you guys remember Wind Beast is both a spell and a monster. The name contains the both paradoxically in this. And I saw that it could be bred for something called Wind Rage, and I thought, okay, there's no monster named that. It's obviously some kind of typo, because the game, the strategy guide, has a few of them. They're not often common, but I've picked a few out over the years, and I thought that was one of them. There is actually a monster named Wind Merge. It's a kind of cool mummy thing. So we're still going to pick that up. What was I doing? Oh yeah, okay. Wait, no. What was I doing? Oh yeah, it's the personality chart. Personality compatibility. That's a huge fucking chart for how little that matters. It's amazing. This game's got some real grinality to it. I love it. Where is the personality chart? Game book. Right here. Okay. And we shut the book. Here we go. Okay. So spoiled means average at strategy, bad at everything. So when we get him to Daredevil, so there is, in the strategy guide's opinion, there is bad or poor decision making. There is average, and I didn't do something right. There is excellent or good. I guess good is as bad good as it gets. So when you pick one of these, tell them to use a strategy that begins to alter their personality. There is a certain quantity, like I think 5 or 6 times you have to say it before it shifts them up one. And the absolute worst you can have is lazy. Lazy's bad at everything. Fucking Dracky. Hot blood, as I said before, is best at everything. So you can give them any of the strategies and they'll do what they think is best at that time. You may be wondering why I'm putting so much emphasis on this, and it's mostly because there's going to be times when you need your party healed. Like we saw with that boss fight, we're taking a lot of damage from Boom. Excuse me. And sometimes you're not going to be able to command your team to say, hey, I need you to cast Heal Us All so we don't die. Or I need you to cast Increase to remove the amount of damage or reduce the amount of damage we're taking. If your monster is bad at strategy or decision making, it's not going to it's not going to prioritize that that particular skill you need. There's also going to be times like charging unlocks the abilities for them to use their full potential and have critical hits land. Mix and defense really don't do much, especially if your monster has no defensive skills. They'll just defend. They won't do anything else. But defense really comes into play with your healers, and that's kind of a late game kind of thing. But it's always good to get these personalities taken care of now. And I think there's a kid that said the older a monster get, the harder it is to change the personality. So there is some real dangers about leaving a monster in the farm for too long. And sometimes wild monsters will just be too high a level to actually change the personality by that point. So we've got some expenses tonight, which is kind of why we're just out with Al for picking up money. And I think we're going to have to, so hatching is going to cost money, and I think we're going to have to switch some genders around so that they can breed with the next generation properly. That's assuming I have the monsters at all right now, which I'm not sure. And I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with Alpha yet. There's nothing really a Pearl Gel is good for. I think I'm just going to breed him into something, maybe like a Tungula. I don't think... Did I? No, I used Divine already. Did I not use? The land now. don't remember items. Just have to wander around and see. I don't think they do, because this is like a story area. Excuse me. I don't like how long it's taking. Yeah, to go back to the whole thing with Twitch, it may be delayed because I just don't know how long it's gonna be. Like their issues, I don't know what's going on with Twitch. Like I saw that they've just shut down their business section in Korea entirely, which seems pretty extreme. Like I don't know. I might have to find a new era, a new site to stream on. I'm not sure what's around anymore. Like live stream. It used to be a thing, but that was like a decade ago. I don't think they're around anymore. I don't know what else the kids use these days. Maybe I should just quit. I've kind of been like, that's been rattling around in my head. That I was gonna make an announcement on the Christmas Eve stream. It's kind of like a fair warning. Next year may be it for me. You know, it's like, I don't know. I've been doing this for 5 years. Nothing's really happened. Like I'm over 100 subscribers now on YouTube, but like what good is that? And I do enjoy it, but there's not enough to really incentivize me to keep going, I guess. And I feel kind of satisfied with what I've done. I've played some games to completion. I've tried new things. I've gone outside my comfort zone. I've expanded out to like art, modeling, trading cards, and gunpla, and, you know, some tech showcases. Like I feel I'm okay with what I've done. I'll present an edge. What ill we do. Speak. But I kind of feel like another thing that's kind of influencing my thought process here is just like how fucking expensive shit's getting. Like I'm on a $200 crap book and it's barely functioning with a really low bit rate. You know, my PS4 for a long time was my main streaming device, and God knows how long it has, and I'm definitely not replacing that with a PS5 or anything. So if streaming services are beginning to suffer, if YouTube is beginning to like roll back on what it's providing, maybe it's just time for me to hang up my hat. You know, maybe it's time time has passed me by once again. This kind of thing happened with back when towers were like home computers were getting pretty inexpensive, like 500 to 600 for a decent spec PC, whereas now it's like a few thousand to even get entry level. And all of this shit, like I just can't afford some of the hoops to jump through, you know. I can't afford the newest game system or a fucking fiber internet connection or like a fucking $200 microphone or a camera that'll like picks up every fucking pixel of my fucking greasy ass hair. Like it's like there's no money. I have no budget, and I'm definitely not earning anything I'm not recouping any losses. I have no sponsorships. No one fucking watches this shit. Like, let's just be fucking honest. Like, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Like, Starbeast was the best thing I've done so far. And it's like, that was just because it was popular. Ooh, he's getting crits now. Maybe his personality shift. And I'm not trying to like doom or boast or anything. I'm just like thinking out loud here. Like, things are getting harder. You know, like life is getting harder for everyone. It's pretty evident to see. I see more and more people on Twitter like talking about evictions and like how they're struggling or how they're helping family members and it's weighing on their budget. Like, I think generally the time of like when we had endless amounts of free time to play video games is disappearing because now we're all working extra shifts and extra hours when we can get them. And I think the money we used to put into that shit is disappearing into our regular budgets, just trying to survive, feed our families. You know, it's sad, but that's just the nature of what's happening these days. Things are getting tougher. Times are getting worse, and there's nothing really to stop them from continuing. I really like Poyo. I don't know how to fuck pronounce that. I've always looked like the sound that Kirby makes. That's how I pronounce that. It's a cute guy, though. I think it's a plant. It's a bug. One of the two. Plant bug. But yeah, to like kind of wrap it back around, if Twitch really is beginning to suffer, if YouTube is beginning to fall apart, and there is no like free alternative offering streaming and video storage, video editing, and all those things that I kind of rely on to do like anything and make any kind of decent content. You know, maybe it's just time I hang up my hat. Maybe I just say I had a good run and sally off. What? Excuse me? Oh wait, Daredevil, not Hot Button. Okay, so this is good. He shifted from went right over. Oh, he started. Well, now he's at Daredevil. So this is kind of where things get weird. Now we need to shift over to use mixed, and we need to aim. We're aiming for Snobby. Snobby is so he's good at decision making. Do the crits for charging. I hope we make it back. What does Skybill do? It's confusion. Oh no, we're not gonna make it. Lost my train of thought. Alfred's worried. Holy shit, my train of thought's gone. Hold on. Let me roll it back here. I think we're talking about personalities, right? So he's at Daredevil, so he's basically at the highest capacity for good decision making for charging. So when I tell him to charge, he's gonna make a good decision. Now, if I tell him to do mixed, he's gonna not know what to do yet because he's still pretty poor at that. He doesn't really. Oh, he's got an increase. That's right. So he does have something to do. So, like so, he's gonna cast increase, and that's not a good idea because we're still poisoned. So take care of that first. Barely. Thank God that's cheap. It's kind of an interesting thought to think, like, inflation has definitely gotten a lot worse the last couple years. Wages have stagnated. Hours are going down because no one's buying anything. Therefore, no one's like stocking shelves. More people are just staying home and lying low. And it's like there's definitely some contributions to why things look worse now, but it could also just be the passage of time too. Like 2008 was getting damn close to 15 years ago now. Soon it'll be 20. You know, it's like, how much can we compare 20 years ago to today? You know, like, things are definitely different from 2003, even though they don't really feel like it. But it's like, sometimes you just have to accept that, you know, if things are worse, they're worse because the passage of time has crept forward. We're not always going to be, like, getting better. Like, there's always kind of this idea that the quality of life or the life expectancy is going to go up. You know, that was entirely dependent on our diet, access to healthcare. Both those things have been suffering for a very long time. It's only going to get worse. I'll get off this. This definitely sounds like different posting. Mixed and defense, you just have to cut your losses after a certain point. Otherwise, one battle can be like 20 minutes of casting. So, get snobby up. Oh, still did that. And honestly, like, if you're like, honestly, if you're not expecting to have any kind of like defensive skills, Daredevil's fine. You don't really need good decision making otherwise. Like, if you don't have support spells, you're not going to put them on mixed. That was a pretty good hit. That was a very pretty good hit. But we're not really getting a lot of experience from this area, and this poison sucks. Basically, we just kind of keep grinding until we hit areas where we're not gaining any more levels quickly, so we just move on to the next world, and eventually we are where we are. Oh, there's the King Squid. I don't know if I talked about him. So every world has some kind of post game to it, I think, with the exception of maybe Sky. I don't remember what Sky has. But in Oasis, there were two monsters that we could do. Here in Pirate, we have this boss fight that's optional. This is the King Squid. He's really tough. I don't think I've ever beaten him, actually. And then in Ice, there is an extra dungeon called the Tower that we can go explore, which we probably will. It's got some good shit. Might actually have a mansion. But this is almost 7/10 of the game right here. Just leveling up your monsters as you get them, hatching new ones. That makes sense. This is a good spot to grind out. You can actually get some more items. think Alpha's pretty defensively bulky. We're gonna shift the charge. He's about out of use. Hit fight. Goddamn. Fight isn't like a bad thing to hit. It just doesn't really. If they're already using one strategy, you could probably stick with it, which is not conducive sometimes. But he does without much. Just attack, so. Charging is mostly offensive, and defensive is mostly defensive, obviously, so. Abilities and spells that would mostly deal with damage mostly come with charge, as we've seen, and healing and buffing mostly comes with defensive. But you still need mixed, because mixed is where all the weird status effects and all that shit arrive at, so it's probably one of the most important strategies you can use. Now he's snobby. Okay. A few more of this and we'll be at... Smug. And after Smug, we're going to do defense. And just let it ride, and we'll eventually get Hot Blood. This is fun. I don't know, this might be short stream, because, like, we're at the point where I can start doing a lot of this off stream. It's mostly repetitive stuff. Unless anyone absolutely wants to watch me level up 6 monsters from level 1 to 38 or whatever. So where's those two? Pirate's also interesting. There's a couple islands out here that serve no purpose. Like, we never went to them, but they still have some unique encounters on them, which is not something you really expect. Like this one. Actually, back then. Use the old man back up. Oh, that's smug already. Okay, cool. Now comes a really fun one where we have to fucking spam defense over 12 times. What great joy. This, like, something this could have benefited from on Pokemon is actually, like, being able to look up your stats in battle. That's not actually an option here. Yeah. This is the problem of fighting. Especially when you're trying to raise defense. You hit fight once, they actually accidentally end the fight. Oh, I'm sorry, we're not on an island. Let's find an island. There's two really big ones. Again, having absolutely nothing going on there. Just you can get a cat mage on one and a pterodon on another. The strategy guide lists all of the areas that. Well, that was defensive. It lists all the areas, or like it lists all the monsters in the world, but not where they are specifically. Some of them are isolated in little areas like this. You wouldn't actually be able to find them unless you went looking. So let's see what's up. If anything, I actually been this place. A dance thing. My God. Yeah, this is pretty much the most. This is about as boring as the gameplay can get in Monster. I want to call it Monster Hunter. Jesus, I'm tired. you just kind of have to keep doing this until you've like had enough of it, or you kind of feel like he's moved up in personality. I'm gonna say that's good. It's true. The nice thing is, selecting a different strategy is not going to lower the decision making in the other ones, which would be nice. Honestly, that's kind of a neat idea to stop you from spamming over and over one particular thing, kind of have them planned out. So we can use charge whenever we need some. I'm surely just not dancing buttons, right? Ah, brush heads. What it was, it's gonna fight, it's gonna kill him. Let's see what we get. So we're not gonna be here much longer. We're gonna start hatching the other two. I'm kind of excited for that good boost, since that's our +2. Once monsters hit certain points, basically the pluses are defined by the sum total of the levels of the parents. So in our case, Beano and Flora were they were both over level 20, which would make a sum of 40, and that gave us the +2 instead of +1. Where's I remember on about this. He is good, and average right now, so I might actually just call that good. And I just kind of want to. I'm sick of hitting commands over and over. I think we'll go to the volcanic cave, and then if it just becomes too tedious, we'll just head back and start hatching out the next ones. And then we'll kind of have our first bred team. I was kind of hoping Alpha would have more than 2 fucking spells, though. He really likes Fireball. But he's level 17, I was hoping like it would just start falling from the sky. The more of a number, like that plus number the monster has from being bred, the higher the base stats are upon hatching, and that means that there's like this subset of very basic, easy to learn spells that they just learn all at once, like at level 2. And it's kind of fun to watch them go through like 12 fucking spells. Yeah, there they are, Pterodon and Catflies. This is the only place you can find here. There's nothing saying you can't train Like, I could go and hatch them both at the same time and take them both with me, and there's nothing stopping that from happening. It splits up the XP, though, and it may make personality training a little harder. I don't know off the top of my head. Whether selecting the strategy changes personality, or they have to make the decision afterwards. So if one guy is really fast and strong and knocking out all the enemies before the other one needs to do anything, the personality's not going to shit. So that's where you can find those. I went too far. Put this out on Twitter today. Thinking ahead for the Christmas Eve stream again. I'm not really sure if I'm going to have enough games to do a full like ROM hack showcase. Like, I know last year, I'm gonna have to sit up. I'm gonna keep falling asleep. Last year I had like a couple Christmassy games and then some other non-Christmassy stuff. Like Star Beasts was not Christmassy. It just happened to come out in December. I think. I don't remember. Maybe it did. So I'm thinking if that's the case and I just can't scrounge up anything, I have a different idea, and that would be disappointing games that you got on Christmas Day. You know, I'm not really sure what you can call those, like stocking stinkers or something, or stocking stuffers, or something like that. But I've got one, which was my main one. That was Galador on the Game Boy Advance, which was really just kind of this crappy, really crappy platform. And then my friends on Discord have been giving me a couple more ideas. And really, any just kind of like licensed tie-in movie schlock will probably fit that bill. Yeah. Also got some ideas from other games that may actually be good too. Oh yes, please, please. Shy. We've been needing that devil. Now we can go get a McNee farm. Is she breedable? Yes, she is. Okay. So the nice thing about that monster the master breedings is it doesn't matter what gender it is. It's always compatible with the other one. So it's not like a male armor piece. It's a whatever armor period, and just breed into it. Looking shy. And a girl. Now what I'd like to do, I don't have the thing yet because I haven't beaten that sword. What I'd like to do is get her up to level 20 as well. Do we dare, sports fans? I haven't shown off what a mimic does yet, have I? And I've got $700. I don't know if I want to do this. I mean, if they're showing up in pirate, they can't be that bad, right? Right? Here we go. Kobe, check the treasure chest. The chest was a mimic. So yeah, these brightly colored ones that happen to show up when nothing else was there, these are mimics. They can be really bad. They know beat first off. They have strong attack. They can hit multiple times. They got spells. They got all kinds of shit. Luckily for god damn. Yeah, Shaw's got a clean cut, which actually might make this a little bit easier. Got jerk. Got ribs. Got a lot of jerk. Okay, you know what? We're trying it. I'm gonna try and get a mimic. Should have a couple turns. These things are pretty stocky. These are like things you should not be fighting, so it may take a while to kill it. Oh, never mind. Did we get it? No. And like that, I wasted all my meat. It's a shame. Oh my gosh, she's got a lot of fucking experience to roll through. I want to get her up to level 20, but you know what? If she doesn't make it, she doesn't make it. This is why these things are really kind of a pain in the ass to fight. Everyone's blind. Making huge amounts of money though. Plenty of breeding money here. There's not really any reason to go down here either beyond just stronger, like the strongest enemies in the area or in the world are here, which means the best experience. But no real reason to go all the way down. So it just be a pain to come back up again. You know, I probably should just use Radiant. A little bit out of our depth here. Fall asleep again. But I don't know, man. I think we're just gonna head back, do some more breeding, hatch some mods, start the whole process over again. I think we're just gonna put Alpha in the back, run around. He's really just not doing much decent. He's got like 2 moves. Stats are okay. Not really impressing me with anything. Sad thing is, it's a lot easier to breed and train a bred monster than it is to train a wild monster. Wild monsters just have an insanely high experience gap. So this is where we're getting kind of hairy. We don't want too many things from Pirate. We're getting to kind of hit that. Yeah, he's level 3. What the fuck? Good luck finding use for that thing. Don't think he has any skills either. No skills. Yep. Simple. Not gonna lie, I dozed in most of that fight. Start doing the basic training again. I need to stop streaming at 11. I just don't have any time ever. Alright, first off, we're gonna go talk to this guy, get that evil bread. +2, look at that. That's awesome. This game had a lot of multiplayer. This game pretty much for link accessibility, this was pretty much the gold standard. You could breed your monsters together. That make? What was that hit? Or a buster? Is that what it wants? Anyway, you could do battles, you could trade monsters, you could trade a lot of shit. Okay. Makes a proto mech. Saberman if you're the robuster. I always like the proto mech, but I don't think it's worth using an evil armor for it. Okay. So, let me evaluate the egg first. That's a cool thing. I always like evil armor. Okay, now let's see. What do I even want to do with this thing? We can make a battle Rex, we can make a beast knight, we can make a proto mech, or a robust. Sabermen are not that hard to make. Material family gyro. Yeah, that's pretty easy to get hold of, especially since we have that world. We could probably get both components for that there. That would make a robuster, which I think is statted better than a proto mech. We could just do proto mech. I don't mind. I don't think we have material family anyway. Okay, let's look at my chart. Yes, spirits. Skeleton. Dragon. So we'll just, I guess, keep him as a boy. Wind Beast needs a zombie, which we don't have. The evil army. I guess it's okay. Let's go ahead and hatch them all. Phobos. That's a good name. Laura. Yeah, Jane. Cohen. Offer. Get lost. Okay. So here's our new team. Phobos, Laura, Cody. That's how they look. Good looking bunch of babes. No skills yet. Spoiled, innocent, half. Should have much to work with there. Affable is bad at charge, decent at other two. Spoiled's bad. Innocence. Innocence pretty decent. Okay. Innocence not awful. And then we can also see there's a change in XP needs for next level too. So there are growth charts. There's growth differences. Probably don't need to, but I'll do it anyway. Could probably honestly just go straight to pirate. We're so inclined. I like going with Oasis. It's nice. My charge. Wow, look at that. Should probably just head straight to the sewer. I reckon that's the safest bet. Okay, sports fans, I'm getting very tired. It's almost 12:30 here, so here's what's gonna happen. Depending on what happens with Twitch, if I can get those videos edited and this one and get everything up and running, I might stream tomorrow, but that's going to be the priority, so if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. We'll just do 2 this week. I also plan to do the grinding out off stream. So by the time we come back around to the stream, I'll either be in ice finishing up, or we'll be ready to fight the boss again. So them's the plans, and we'll go to Sky, and then we'll go to Limbo. We'll be done with the main story of the game. We can start focusing on the fun things. There's many. Anyway, thank you for watching. Have a wonderful evening.